Good morning, students. So in yesterday's class, we seen how the overhang crankshaft is going to design. So that is one of the type of crankshaft, that is side crank or overhang crankshaft we call it as. So in today's class, let us see how the design is going to perform for the overhang crankshaft with a simple example. So this is the problem that is given for calculating or finding out the dimensions for overhang crankshaft. So let us see. So it is a design for overhang crankshaft for the following data. So here it mentioned the maximum load acting on the crank. So at the maximum crank position, so as I stated that so upon the parts of the crankshaft, so the different magnitudes of the loads are going to act with the different crank positions, but we consider only the load whenever the crank having the maximum loading conditions are only true, that is a theta equal to 0 or the beta included angle between the crank and the crankshaft is going to be 90 degrees. So this is the two conditions or the two cases we are taken where we get the maximum load magnitude. So here they mention the maximum load on the crank pin for the maximum torque position, that is a 50 kilonewton. So here it is a load, so as taken as so it is a given data. So load denoted by F, so 50 kilonewtons, so 50 into 10 cube newtons. So and then so allowable and then crank radius is given. So here we are denoted with small r, crank radius 200 mm, and the distance between crank pin center and the nearest bearing center, which means if you observe in the diagram, that is when the load is acting from here to the nearest center, so that is the perpendicular length we are taken denoted with x. So it is equal to 300 mm. Okay. So and then the allowable bearing stresses is allowable stresses is given in bending. So it is denoted by sigma b. So 70 megapascal, that is a 70 Newton per mm square, and it is so in shear that is tau, so 50 Newton per mm square, and in crushing or bearing, so can denote with sigma c. So it is 7 Newton per mm square. So this is the given data. So for this following, this is the specifications they mentioned. For this given data, you need to go for the design of we need to give the design for overhang crankshaft or side crankshaft. Clear? So let us see how the design is going to perform using this data. If any other data is required, we can assume it. So by using the proportional ranges, that is already mentioned as I mentioned in the earlier class. So for calculating the dimensions, we can use the proportions. So using those proportions, you can finding out the sizes of the crank pin as well as the crankshaft. So that is a main shaft, and then web dimensions, that is a width near the crank pin as well as a width near the main shaft, so that we may get the mean width of the web, and then thickness we can also calculate using the proportions. So after finding out the dimensions using the proportions, so we can check whether our given proportionate values is going to withstand with the load acting at the maximum crank position, that is 50 kilonewtons. So we can check with the induced stresses so that it may be checked with the given allowable stresses, then only the design is going to safe. So that there is induced stresses should always less than the permissible value, so that the design is going to safe. If it is not in a safe condition, we can go with changing the values. That depends upon the which proportionate value, that depends upon that use the that corresponding stresses, so that particular proportionate we are going to increase the size so that I can make sure that the design is going to be safe by checking with the inallowable stresses. Clear? So let us dive into the design procedure for overhang crankshaft. First of all, in the design, so we need to calculate. So that is the first step in the design. So we need to find out the dimensions for crank pin. So once go through the design procedure, so for the crank pin dimensions, so the crank pin is subjected to the three different types of stresses as I stated. So here in the crank pin. So whatever the load that comes out from the combustion process, that is a total load. We are not considering any component of forces acting on the crank pin. So we consider the direct force F, that is comes out from the combustion process, the same force acting on the crank pin. So here due to the force acting on the crank pin, so that induces three types of stresses. So here the total stresses, starting from the first one, we are assumed that the total load is acting at the center of the crank pin. So here, so the load, that is the total load F, is going to act on the crank pin perpendicular to the axis of crank pin, that induces the forms a shearing of pin, so that the shear stress is going to act, that is the first type of stress induces in the crank pin, that is the first one, that is a direct shear stress. And the second stress is due to the acting of the load on the crank pin may subjected to the bending at the fixed end, so that the bending stress is going to induce, so maximum can be observed at the fixed point. So that the second type of stress, that is a bending stress, and the third one is that is a crushing stress. So here the initial dimensions, we are not known any initial dimensions, so that initially you can find out the dimension of the crank pin. So that is, we are denoted with small d, and length of the crank pin is L. So these are the dimensions that we are proportionated with for the crank pin. So we need to find out so what is the diameter and length for crank pin. So initially we don't know what is the value of d and the length of crank pin L. So initially we can find out the diameter d for the crank pin. So based upon the value of d, so all the remaining dimensions are need to be find out by using the proportionate values. So here so based upon the three different stresses, we can use a particular crushing stress, which is a very low magnitude. So that in the crushing, the material is going to be having the low strength, so that we can go to support other. You can select or you can use these low strength allowable stress, so low allowable stress values for finding out the dimensions for the crank pin. So that out of the three stresses, that is a bending and the shear and the crushing, we consider these crushing stress for finding out the dimension. So here first of all you can find out the diameter and length of crank pin. Or determined by using crushing stress. So we know that the crushing stress sigma c is given by load by projected area. So that we know that the equation for crushing stress. So here the total load is the maximum load F, so 50 into 10 cube newtons, that is given, and the projected area is taken as L into D. So here F is known, and so L is not known, so it is not given. So here the length of the crank pin, again we need to take in terms of diameter, that is again it is a proportionate value. So here I can take the length of the crank pin is taken as 1.25 times of diameter. So this is the proportionate value that we are already written in the design procedure. So you can substitute in place of L, you can substitute 1.25 times of D. So you may get the value of D from this equation, that is from the crushing stress equation sigma c. So here the sigma c is taken as a allowable crushing stress 7 Newton per mm square. So F is 50 into 10 cube newtons, and I can find out so sigma c equal to F by LD. So here it is sigma c is 7 and F is 50 into 10 cube, so length is 1.25 D into D, so that is 1.25 D square. So from that you may get the diameter of the crank pin is given by 7.56 mm. So I can take this as a roundup value of 80 mm. Clear? So this is how the diameter of crank pin is determined. So after that we can also need to be calculate find out the length. It is taken as 1.25 times of D, so that if you calculate this value you may get around 100 mm. So this is length. So these are the dimensions of diameter, that is the dimensions of crank pin, diameter of crank pin and length of crank pin. So after finding out the dimensions, both the dimensions of crank pin, we need to check whether these dimensions are going to withstand in terms of another two stresses, that is what direct shear stress and bending stress, that we need to check here. So check for, can keep the side heading, check for induced stresses. So first one, so that is a direct shear stress. So that is denoted by tau. We know that load by area, so shear stress load by resisting area. So here it is load and the area is cross section area. It is a circular one, pi by 4 d square. So it is 4f by pi d square you may get. So load is known and the diameter is 80 mm. You can substitute in this equation. This is the induced shear stress. You can need to check with the allowable value. So here the induced shear stress I may get by substituting all the values 9.947 Newton per mm square. So you can check this value. So with the allowable value, so the allowable shear stress is 50 Newton per mm square, but the induced stress is 9.947. So that the pin, so with the dimensions whatever we calculated here, so that is 80 mm is going to withstand in shear, so that is not in failing in shear. So you can also check in the bending stress. So bending stress, so we know that the bending stress is m by z, so that is z is, it is circular member 32 pi by 32 d cube, so we can simply written as 32 m by pi d cube, but here m is moment is calculated up to the fixed support, so that is f into l by 2 we may get. So it is the load is acting at the center of the beam, so or that is a pin, so that it may be get 16 FL by pi d cube we may get. So F is again 15 to 10 cube and length is calculated 100 mm and the diameter is 80 mm. By substituting all the values, so I may get 15 Newton per mm square and the value of bending stress, induced bending stress. So here the allowable stress is 70, so that the induced bending stress that is induced is less than the given permissible value, then the design is safe. So that you need to mention here. So you can write the calculated or induced stresses, induced shear and bending stress. So here you can write in calculated or induced shear and bending stresses are less than the given permissible values. Then the design, in the design of pin or crank pin, so that you can mention clearly the design of crank pin is safe. So you are not supposed to give the statement like the total design is safe, so you can simply particular about the crank pin. So this is statement only with respect to the crank pin, so that so the induced stresses in the crank pin like shear and bending is less than the given permissible values, then the design of crank pin is safe. Clear? So after that, as per our design procedure, so we written that so the next design in the next component in the design you need to calculate is the dimensions for web. So for calculating the web dimensions, so that proportions again depends upon the diameter of the main journal as well as the diameter of the crank pin. So we find out the dimension of the crank pin, but we don't know the diameter of main journal. So instead of going with the procedure step, so that is instead of going with the design of web, first of all so we can go with the design of main journal. So the next step, that is the next dimensions we are going to find out, so that is design of main journal instead of web, so that we may get the diameter of the journal as well as the length of the journal. So using those values we can find out the width near the crank pin and the width near the main journal of the web, so that I can check with the induced values. Clear? So after that I can go with, so now after the finding out the dimensions of crank pin, you can go with the design of so the next dimension so as I stated that next design so that is the second one. So design of main journal. So the dimensions of main journal is a diameter again, so that is denoted by capital D, and the length of main journal is capital L. So here, so the dimensions of diameter, that is a main journal, the diameter of main journal and length of journal is find out by means of the proportions. So here the diameter, so initially the diameter and length of main journal are calculated by using proportions. So here so the diameter of the journal I can take it as 1.5 times of D, so that the value is going to be 120 mm. So it is the diameter is 80 mm, so into 1.5, so make it 120 mm. And the length of main journal, so capital L is also depends upon the diameter of main journal, so 1.5D. So 120 again, so 60 make it around so 180 mm. So these are the dimensions for main journal, so diameter and length. So but again so we need to verify so whether these dimensions 120 mm and 180 mm is going to withstand with the stresses induced in the pin, sorry, in the journal. So here, so whatever the stresses induced in the journal, so here for design of main journal or web, we consider the two maximum torque conditions, that is a maximum loading conditions as I stated, that is whether the theta is 0 or beta equal to 90 degrees. So that first of all see, so whatever the stresses induces in the main journal due to the radial moment, radial component of force and tangential component of force. So for the main journal, so there's three stresses induces, or the first one is the bending stress due to radial force, and the second stress is again the bending stress, that is initially here it is in the form of a crank, the web and the journal is here, the load is acting, so you can observe in the diagram. So initially the bending can causes in this direction, and the second one is bending is causes in this direction. So here due to radial load it maybe tends to bend, and with the respect of the tangential load it is going to bend. So the bending stress due to radial force as well as the tangential force, these are two bending stresses are induces, and the third one is due to tangential force, the main journal is going to twist. So that once verify with your design procedure written in your notebook, so there we are explained so how the stresses are induces with respect to the radial component of force and tangential component of force. Clear? So these are the three stresses induces, but if you take any of the condition like so if you take theta equal to 0, so Fr equal to going to be F, and so Ft is going to be 0. So this is the one of the case, so maximum loading case. So if you take these condition, so as I stated, due to the radial force only one bending moment is going to induce us, and due to tangential force one bending and one twisting. So that if you take these loading condition theta equal to 0, so this tangential force is going to be 0, so that we are going to induce the component is going to subjected to only bending moment. So but if you want to check with the allowable values, if you want to check the design, the component has to check with the maximum number of stresses induces that, so that these condition we are not considering here. We go with the another case, that is a beta equal to included angle equal to 0, sorry 90 degrees, so that in this case the Fr is going to 0 and the Ft is going to be F. So for this case we are considering the second loading condition case, so beta included angle equal to 90 degrees beta, so that is Fr is going to 0 and Ft equal to F. So here the stresses induced is two stresses, that is only due to the tangential force, that is equal to total maximum force 50 into 10 cube. so that the stress is bending and another one is twisting. So here again the main journal is subjected to the both the normal stress and bending stress. So shear stress, that is normal stress and shear stress. So we need to check with the maximum values. So you can check the values with the allowable stress values whether the design is going to withstand or not. So first of all, so can finding out the bending moment. So due to tangential force, so that is Ft into, so bending moment, so due to tangential force, the bending moment will be causing in this direction. So you can take the perpendicular distance x, so Ft into x, and the torsional moment is equal to Ft into r. So Ft, so that equal to F, so that 50 into 10 cube we can substitute, and x is 300 mm and r crank radius is 200 mm. So by substituting so both the values, the bending moment is given by 15 into 10 power 6 Newton mm, and the tangential force that is a twisting moment is given 10 into 10 power 6 Newton mm. So by using these I can finding out the stresses induced, that is bending stress and the torsional shear stress. So let us see so how it is going to be. So the bending stress initially, so bending stress, so here so in the design procedure we are written finding out the bending stress and the torsional stress and finding out the maximum stresses like maximum bending stress or maximum shear stress. Instead of, we can also find out the equivalent bending stress and equivalent twisting moment. So we can calculate the equivalent bending stress and equivalent twisting stress or torsional shear stress. So for that I may going to calculate equivalent bending moment. So from that you can also perform do the design in that fashion also, but here I am going with another approach. So like equivalents, so equivalent bending moment I can take so m plus root of m square plus t square. So here it is the bending moment m and the twisting moment here it is capital T. So we can substitute both the values, so we may get the equivalent bending moment here like 16.5 into 10 power 6 Newton mm. Clear? So after finding out the equivalent bending stress, so I am going to finding out the induced equivalent bending stress. So that is equal to the maximum bending stress. So if you are finding out separately, individually with the bending stress and the torsional shear stress, and find out the maximum bending stress, you may get the same values. So here so the equivalent bending stress, that is equal to bending stress maximum. So here it is given 32 ME by, sorry, here it is a capital D, so pi dq. So equivalent bending moment I may get 16.5 into 10 power 6 and capital T is equal to 120 mm. So by substitute all the values it is given 97.3 Newton per mm square. These we need to check with the value of allowable stress. So what is the allowable stress here? So it is only 70 Newton per mm square. So it is, but our induced maximum bending stress is equal to the 97, so that is exceeded the allowable stress value, so that the dimensions what you are finding out here is not withstanding in the bending. So that is main journal is going to fail. So that here you can write the statement like so the stresses is exceeding with the allowable value, so that the design is not safe. So increasing the diameter to the next possible extent. So here I can take capital D as 140 mm, so that these may be length maybe 210 mm we may get. Clear? So I am going to increase the dimensions. So using that so the moments are not varying with respect to the dimensions, so it is same. So why? Because the radial distance and the perpendicular distance x is same, so force is also same, so that the moments are not varying. So only the thing we are going to change is the size of the diameter of journal. So again we need to find out the stress values using the increased diameter. So that is So if you substitute the value of 120, so the bending stress I may get so 61.2 Newton per mm square with the diameter of 140 mm. So that it is going to withstand. Why? Because the allowable stress is only 70, so our induced stress is 61.2, so that the journal is going to withstand in bending. So we can also check with this with the torsional shear stress. So for that, so induced so equivalent, so this is the equivalent torsional stress. So here also it is equivalent. So induced equivalent shear stress, that is a torsional shear stress. So tau, that is equal to the maximum shear stress. So tau equal to 16 Te by pi d cube. So we are not calculated the equivalent twisting moment. So it can also need to calculate the equivalent twisting moment. E is given by root of m square plus t square, and this value is equal to 18 into 10 power 6 Newton mm, and you can substitute the value in this equation. So we may get the maximum equivalent shear stress as 33.4 Newton per mm square. So again, we need to check with this value with the allowable value. So here the allowable stress is 50. So that so the induced stresses, so with the diameter of 140 mm is going to withstand in both the bending and shear stresses. With respect to the allowable stress, it is a less value. That is so that the design of main journal is safe. That you need to write here the induced or calculated induced maximum stresses or equivalent bending and shear stress, the maximum stresses or less than the given values. So better to indicate the values of induced as well as the given values here in the brackets. So sigma b, so 61.2, and the tau is 33.4. Here you can mention, and similarly the given values also you can mention 70 and 50. So given values bending and 70 and 50 Newton per mm square. So similarly you can mention here the induced value 61.2 and 33.4 Newton per mm square, so that the design of main journal is safe. Clear? So this is how the dimensions of main journal or the design of main journal is going to perform. So after finding out the dimension, that is finalizing the dimensions of journal, so that is capital D is taken as 140 mm, so that is going to withstand in the stresses, and the length is going to take as 210 mm. So this is the final dimensions of main journal. Clear? So after finding out the dimensions of main journal, so you can go with the dimensions of web. So let us see how the dimension of web is going to be. Component in the crankshaft, design of crank web or web. So the dimensions of web we are denoted with mean width, that is a W. So W plus small a plus b by 2. So where A is the width near the crank pin and B is the width near the main journal. So this is the two dimensions, so you need to find out and then also we can need to find out the thickness. So here again before going to find the cross section, that is the induced stresses, so we can find out the cross section details using the proportions. So here the width near the crank pin is taken as based upon the diameter of crank pin, and width near the main journal is taken 1.5D, that depends upon the diameter of the main journal. So here the 1.5D, that is a capital D, small d is the diameter of the pin is 80 mm, so 1.5D it is 120 mm. So you can write the statement here clearly. So the dimensions are going to find out. So here dimensions are calculated or determined by using proportions. So that so A equal to 1.5D, that is a width near the crank pin, and that is depends upon the diameter of crank pin. So 1.5D, and the width near the main journal again depends upon the diameter of the main journal. So 140 mm. So this will use the 120 mm. So, and the thickness is from the figure we can find out the thickness can be find out. So x, that is the total distance between the support, x minus from the load to the, so L by 2 plus capital L by 2. So x is 300 mm. So and L we know that. So by substituting all the values, may get around it may be so 150 mm or 180 mm we may get. So please check these values. So that is small t. So 150 mm for that value, and the width. So A and B is known, and the width is going to be calculated. So A plus B by 2. So that the mean width we need to find out for checking the cross sectional, that is induced stresses. So its value is going to be equal to 165 mm. Clear? So this is the two dimensions. One is the thickness of web. So here if you go through it, the cross section of the web is going to be rectangular one. The thickness is denoted by t, and width we are considering the mean width. So for finding out the mean width, we need to find out the width near the crank pin and the main journal. So that is A and B. So mean width is going to be 165 mm. So these two are the dimensions for web. So that we are calculated using the proportions. Clear? So after finding out the dimensions of web, again we need to check whether these dimensions are going to withstand with the maximum load acting on the crank web or not. Clear? So again, once brief review of what are the stresses induces on the web. So if you go through it, so due to the radial component, so the web is going to bend. So that is up to the middle of center of the web. So induces the bending of the web. So that is, sorry, initially it is due to radial movement. So the radial component, the web is going to be subjected to the normal stress. So clear? So it is in the fashion. So web is in this fashion. So we consider the load Fr is going to be acting in this direction, so that so the radial normal stress is going to subjected to be. So the cross section is in this fashion. So this is W mean width, and this one is thickness small t. Clear? So that is a normal stress. So first one due to radial moment, radial component of load, and again it is also subjected to the bending due to radial load. So and then again there is another bending can also causes, that is in this direction, that is what we consider the Fr, and due to tangential force it is going to bend in this direction or in this direction. So that is another bending. So we can go through it. That is the first one is a normal stress due to radial component, and the second one is bending stress due to radial component, and the third one is bending stress due to tangential component. But here if you go with the case we consider in the earlier main journal, so that is included angle, second case we are consider included angle is 90 degrees, so that the radial component is going to be 0. So the tangential causes both the bending and torsion. But if you consider the same case here, so the radial here in this case the web is subjected to the maximum stresses only due to the radial force. If you if you make these as nullify this radial component, that is only the stress induces due to tangential is 1. So that here the case we consider is the maximum loading condition as theta equal to 0. So that Fr radial component is going to be F, and Ft is going to be 0. So that the two stresses we are going to calculate by using the radial component of force. So that is one is a normal stress, and the another one is bending stress due to radial component. Clear? So first one, so check for induced stresses. So first one, that is a normal or direct stress. So that is denoted by sigma naught. So here the direct or actual stress, that means a load by area or cross sectional area. So load is F, and the cross section is a rectangular one, that is W into T. So we know that the value of F 50 kilonewtons and WT, so W is 165 and 150. So these stress you can substitute both the values. The normal stress I may get is only 2 Newton per mm square. That is the direct stress induces in the web. So on the second stress, that is the stress due to bending stress due to radial component again. So on the second one is the bending stress, that is sigma br or sigma b. So there is only one bending stress, so that I can denote with sigma b. So here it is a rectangular one, so m by z. So here the moment is given by, so f into, so that simply I can write m by z. So m is so f or fr into l by 2, clear, and z may be taken t into bd cube, so t into w square, clear. So here it is t square by 6. Sorry, here okay, this cloth is sorry. Okay, bending moment is given, so f into r, so that is ft into r and the z, so t into w square by 6. So you can substitute the values, so f is known and the radius of crank is known. You can substitute the values here in the bending stress equation. So sigma b is given, the value is given by 15 Newton per mm square, but the maximum stress induces in the web is going to be given by the sum of the normal stress, that is as well as the bending stress, that is a total stress induced in web is given by sigma naught plus sigma b. So that it is so 2 plus 15, so it may be 17 Newton per mm square. So you can check these total induced stress in the with the allowable stress of bending, so it may be only 17 Newton per mm square, so it is 17 Newton per mm square. So it is induced stress is less than the given permissible value, then the design of web is also safe. That is, which means whatever the dimensions we are specified for the web is going to withstand in the with the normal stress as well as the bending stress. So the dimensions are safe without going to fail, that will support the maximum load given at the maximum torque positions. So that statement you can also mention here. So at the end, the induced stresses or induced stress is less than the given permissible values. Then the design is or design of so you can mention clearly it is a web is safe. So further, after finding out all the dimensions of crank pin, main journal and the web, so we can find out the dimensions of crank pin and the main journal, that inside in the web, that is the length of the main journal and length of the crank pin inside the web, that is L1, small L1 and capital L1, and there is a remaining terms are there that we are written in the design procedure. That proportions can also be finding out using the appropriate proportions that give specified in the design data book or in the design procedure, so that the design of crankshaft is going to be finished. Clear? In this fashion we can do the problem, that is give the design for overhang crankshaft. In the next class we can see how the design of center crankshaft is going to be performed using the another example. Clear? Thank you.